Well, hello, and you're very welcome to the latest edition of the Hermetologist's Guide to the Classical Organ. This is the second edition of 2021, and I hope the last piece of music, the Adagio, did bring some calm and restfulness to your lives. What I thought I would do actually this time is actually perhaps play something that is more energizing, but that's actually from the same piece of music as the previous edition. And in case you don't remember that or have forgotten it or have sought to forget it, this is a piece of music by Flor Peeters, who was a cathedral organist, composer, a Belgian, who died in 1986. And it's from a chorale prelude he wrote called Auf, auf mein Herz mit Freuden, Awake My Heart with Gladness, from a chorale tune written in the 17th century. And as I said before, Flor Peeters takes his tune and deals with it in a number of ways. And in the previous edition, I played the Adagio, so this is the tune very gently dealt with. Well, the very end, the very last movement, effectively, of this piece of music is the Allegro festivo, which again is a rather lovely restatement of the tune. When I was getting ready, when I was making the previous recording, I started to play this again, and I enjoyed it so much I thought, well, actually, that's good for the next edition. You might remember in a previous edition of this, there had been a postcard from Mrs. Viney of Dorset who said, well, it's all very nice, dear, but can't you play something loud? And of course, I played something because you have to respond to these sort of demanding listeners. And I played some other pieces of music, and of course I'd forgotten about this piece of music because one of the things is this is loud. And in fact, the registration that's given here, it says, well, all three manuals to be coupled to each other, so all those pipes joined together. And it says here, foundation 16/8/4, mixtures and reeds 8/4, and it says pedal 32 16/8/4 plus the three manuals. And the organ is set up behind actually to effectively do that. So as you can see from all these illuminated stops at the top, we can very much literally here have pulled out all the stops for this. So it's a good, loud, robust sound. It's rather lovely to play. This instrument in the pedals goes down to a 16-foot pitch, and in a larger church or concert hall organ, there would be an octave below that, a 32-foot pitch. And that's really down the bottom of the keyboard. You don't really hear that sound, but you actually get this vibration. You get this rumble, as my organ teacher says. And the instrument I used to play this on before in Bristol has quite a lot of 32-foot stops. And it was lovely to play this because you would play it and you get these lovely sonorities, but this really rumble, this vibration through the seat you're playing. So it was lovely. Still sounds, I think, jolly good on this. It might not reproduce terribly well through the speakers by the time I've recorded it onto this and then you've listened to it on whatever you've listened to. But I very much hope you enjoy it. So it's Allegro festivo, so it's pretty fast. But not ridiculously fast. And of course, with a bigger sound, you need to be a little bit slower, because if it moves too fast, it just sounds all muffled and muddled, especially with a little bit of an echo. So of course, as in all organ music, one needs to be sensitive to one's surroundings, particularly around echoes. This instrument has an electronic echo, so I've got a little bit of an echo there, which gives a bit of space and sense, but nothing ridiculous. I remember some years ago playing at a practice setting, of course, in a church in London where the organ was up in the gallery, and that particular church had an enormously long echo, and it was very interesting to play because I was playing a piece of music that I played before, relatively straightforward piece of music, but one had to play it fundamentally differently to account for this echo, because you had to leave big gaps. Otherwise, you just generated this big gamish of sound, which was horrible. So you need to give it a space that's appropriate for the acoustic. So another interesting part of playing this instrument. Of course, you don't take the instrument with you. You go to wherever an instrument is and play whatever stops it has and however it's set up, but also in the acoustic that it is in. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this Allegro festivo from this chorale prelude by Flor Peeters. Please do keep the postcards and letters coming, and I look forward to seeing you in the next edition. Thank you.